Have you ever been in a situation where you just knew someone wasn't telling you the whole story? It's frustrating, right? You ask questions, you push for details, but you just hit a wall of vague answers. What if I told you there's a powerful psychological tool you can use, and it doesn't involve saying a single word? It's called the silence strategy, and today, I'm going to show you how staying quiet can actually make people reveal the truth. Let me tell you a story about my friend Alex. Alex runs a small design agency, and a while back, he was dealing with a really difficult client. This client kept changing their mind, adding new requests that were way outside the original scope of the project, and then complaining about the timeline being delayed. Alex was pulling his hair out. He spent hours on the phone trying to explain the contract, justify the extra costs, and manage the client's expectations. But every conversation just ended in more confusion and frustration. The client would say things like, "I just assumed that was included," or "This isn't what we discussed," even though Alex had everything documented in emails. One day, after another tense phone call, Alex was venting to me. He was ready to fire the client, even if it meant losing a significant amount of money. I suggested he try something different on their next call. I told him, next time the client starts making a claim that you know isn't true, just be quiet. Don't argue. Don't defend yourself. Just pause. Alex was skeptical. Be quiet? They'll think I agree with them. They'll walk all over me. I explained that silence isn't weakness. It's a space. A space that the other person feels an overwhelming urge to fill. Most people are incredibly uncomfortable with silence in a conversation. It feels awkward, it feels tense, and their natural instinct is to start talking just to break that tension. And when people talk to fill a void, they often reveal more than they intend to. So, the next day, Alex had his scheduled call with the client. Sure enough, the client started in again. The latest designs are all wrong, and we're falling behind schedule because your team isn't delivering what we asked for. Instead of jumping in with his usual defense, Alex took a deep breath and said nothing. He just waited. He told me later it was the longest 10 seconds of his life. On the other end of the line, there was just dead air. Then, the client, a bit flustered, started talking again. "Well, I mean, the colors are mostly right, but the layout isn't exactly what I pictured. And I know I sent that email with the new ideas last week, which probably pushed things back a bit." And just like that, the truth started to bubble up. The client, unprompted, admitted that their own new requests were part of the delay. The silence forced them to confront the gap between their initial complaint and the reality of the situation. Alex stayed quiet, just letting the client talk. The client went on to explain their own internal pressures and why they were so anxious, revealing the real root of the problem, which had nothing to do with Alex's team's competence. This is the power of the silence strategy. It shifts the dynamic of the conversation. When you constantly talk and defend, you're taking on the burden of proof. But when you stay silent, you transfer that burden to the other person. They feel the need to justify their position, to explain themselves, and in doing so, they often fill in the blanks you were looking for. So, let's just break down the analysis of what to do and what not to do when you're reusing this technique. First, the don'ts. Don't use silence as an aggressive weapon. Your body language and tone leading up to the silence are key. If you're glaring, sighing dramatically, or looking angry, the silence will feel like a punishment, and the other person will just get defensive. This isn't about winning a fight. It's about uncovering the truth. The goal is to create a neutral space, not a hostile one. Also, don't let the silence drag on forever. A pause of 5 to 10 seconds is usually enough to make someone uncomfortable and start talking. If you wait for a full minute, it just becomes awkward and unproductive. The point isn't to have a staring contest. It's to prompt a response. And finally, don't use this strategy in every single conversation. It's a tool for specific situations where you suspect dishonesty or that information is being withheld. If you're just silent all the time, people will just think you're withdrawn or disengaged. Now for the doors. Do maintain open and neutral body language. Keep your posture relaxed. Maintain eye contact, but keep it soft, not challenging. You want to look like you're genuinely listening and waiting for them to continue, not like you're judging them. This nonverbal cue is crucial. It signals that you're present and engaged, which makes the silence a prompt for more information rather than a sign of disinterest. Do use it when you're asked a direct question you believe is based on a false premise. For example, if someone asks, "Why is your project so far over budget?" Instead of immediately listing excuses, you can simply pause. Let the weight of their own question hang in the air. Often, they will follow up by rephrasing the question or providing more context, which can reveal their own assumptions or misinformation. And most importantly, do listen actively when they start talking. This is the whole point. When they break the silence, pay close attention to what they say and what they don't say. Are they backtracking? Are they adding new details? Are they shifting blame? The information you get in those moments is pure gold. Let's think about some practical applications. This works wonders in negotiations. Imagine you're negotiating a salary. You've stated your desired number. The hiring manager counters with a lower offer and says, "This is the absolute top of the range for this position." Instead of immediately accepting or arguing, you can just be silent for a moment. Look thoughtful. That silence communicates that you're considering their offer, but that it's not what you expected. The discomfort might pressure them to say something like, "Though we might have some flexibility on the bonus structure," or "Let me double-check with my director." You've created an opportunity for them to improve the offer without you saying another word. It's also incredibly effective in personal relationships. Let's say you ask your partner or a friend where they were, and they give you a vague answer. Instead of interrogating them, which can feel accusatory and lead to an argument, you can just hold their gaze and be quiet. The silence says, "I'm listening, and I feel like there's more to the story." It invites them to be more forthcoming without you having to be confrontational. It gives them a chance to tell you the truth on their own terms. So, how do you handle similar problems in your own life? Here's your step-by-step guide. First, identify the situation. Is this a moment where you feel you're not getting the full picture? Is someone making a claim that doesn't add up? Is there a tension in the conversation that suggests something is being left unsaid? This is your cue. Second, control your own impulse to talk. This is the hardest part. We're wired to fill conversational gaps. You have to consciously decide to stay quiet. Take a slow, calm breath. Remind yourself that your silence is strategic. Third, deploy the silence. After the other person has made their statement, just pause. Maintain calm, open body language. Let the silence do the work. Remember, 5 to 10 seconds is the sweet spot. Fourth, listen intently. When they start talking to fill the void, listen for the new information. Listen for the emotional undertones. What are they really trying to say? And finally, respond to the new information. Now that the truth is on the table, you can have a real, productive conversation. You can address the actual problem instead of fighting against shadows and half-truths. Going back to Alex's story, once the client revealed their own anxieties, Alex was able to switch from being defensive to being a problem solver. He said, "Okay, I understand you're under a lot of pressure. Let's look at the project plan together and see where we can make adjustments to help you meet your deadlines." The entire tone of the relationship changed, all because of a 10-second pause. The silence strategy is not about manipulation. It's about creating an environment where honesty can flourish. It's a testament to the fact that sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. It allows you to lead with wisdom and patience, and to seek understanding instead of just trying to win an argument. So next time you find yourself in one of these tough spots, remember Alex. Remember the power of the pause. Give it a try. You might be surprised by the truth you uncover. Thanks for watching today. If you found this tip helpful, give this video a like and consider subscribing for more insights into communication and psychology. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever used silence to get to the truth? Let me know how it went. See you in the next video.